So obviously here in Martinsville Speedway, Harrison, the Wood brothers made their Cup debut here in 1953, 70 years ago this year. How much over these last 2 years have you been able to learn more about not only this team, but just the history of the sport? There's so much here.
Yeah, it's really neat. I think of here and I think of Darlington when I, kind of think about these guys and this race team, and everyone I walk by seems to be wearing a Wood Brothers t-shirt. And at this racetrack, it's extra cool because everyone shows up with stuff that they went to the Wood Brothers Museum in Stewart, bought a bunch of hats or, pieces of the cars from the past. And, I have a ton of things that people walk up and want, me to sign that has Lynn and Eddie's signature on it too. So pretty cool. Every time I'm around Lynn and Eddie, especially, or Leonard, even more so, they kind of will say stuff in passing that you're like, what do you mean? Can you elaborate on that? Because they just have so many stories, so much history that every story they bring up is something that is like, holy cow, that's amazing. And that's just how their whole lives were.
There's the checkered flag for Cale Yarborough. The Wood brothers are mighty happy to see the end of one of the most fantastic races ever run.
To them, it's very normal, and they just kind of brush over some things that like, oh yeah, and 76 this happened, and it was pretty crazy, and I'm like, what? So it's really cool, like, just talking to those guys about their history and then what they think about the now. I've had Leonard come up to me and give me some setup tips and driving tips for Darlington before the Darlington race this year, and it's like, that is so awesome, right? And most of it honestly was still, even to this day, super relevant and was helpful. So
yeah, I've tried to absorb a lot of it. I've got stories that Lynn have told me that I've taken notes of over the years, and just tried to remember. And you want to try to keep that stuff alive, keep those memories alive, and it's really cool to hear the stories that those guys have to tell.
'21 is the one that remains the most unchanged. It's the most consistent number. The car looks the same.
Yeah.
Can you really describe not only the legacy of the team, but the consistency with the fans?
Yeah, it's super neat. You see guys with different paint schemes every week or a different look every year. And we, kind of tweaked the motorcraft scheme a little bit. Last year it had a little bit more red. This year it's got white further up the hood, but it still looks the same. It still has that same kind of retro look.
There's iconic numbers in the sport, and the 21 is certainly one of them. You think about the 3 and the 43 and some of those iconic numbers. The 21's been around forever, and I think it's really cool that it's still the family number and what it's been for a very long time.
The winner of Pocono, Ryan Blaney for the Wood Brothers.
Wow.
What a race.
Wow. I'm sorry you can't talk, Bob, but I'm so proud of you today. Love you.
Got the 100th win on the radar. Kind of what's the build up to wanting to get to that number?
Yeah, it's huge. It's everything for us when we wake up in the morning. That's our goal, is to get to where we can do that, and we've got to put ourselves in that position to go make it happen. And we've had a couple chances, but we haven't had a ton of, a lot of chances to go out and go win. And so for us, we've been building towards that. I feel like the end of this year is really important to end strong. For me, that would be the best day of my life for sure. I mean, it's so hard to win at this level and to run well at this level, and to do it with such a historic number on the horizon would be something really special.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.